Welcome back to a Celtic State of Mind. Here we are. It's 1:30 Celtic Park time, and it's half time in the second pre-season friendly from the State. Celtic beating Manchester City by 3 goals to 1. And what an enjoyable first half that was. Absolutely tremendous. Let us know in the comments field how you enjoyed that first half. I think we've played some great stuff. Fast, free-flowing football. You just need to look at that last goal from Kyogo. Great teamwork. It was incisive passing, skills to O'Reilly, to Kuhn, to Kyogo, and what a finish. Yeah, really, really enjoyed that. Let us know your thoughts in the comment section. I'm going to be working through them right now. Brendan Monaghan, great to see you, Brendan. Where are you in the world? You travel all over with your guitar, and I wonder where you are. Last time I think it was the Netherlands you were in. Where are you watching the game? Emerald abroad. I wasn't going to say anything. Because yes, I am happy. I would be happy no matter what. But the very fact that Anthony Aiken picks him out, Kuhn is on fire. He looks like a completely different player. He absolutely does. Patrick Harold. Kuhn looks the player we hoped he would be. Great goals. Now, I think during the friendly matches, if you get a little bit excited and you get impressed by certain players, people tell you to settle down. It's only a friendly, but what else can we base it on at this stage of the season? We're up against Man City, albeit not a full strength Man City. There are a few star names in there, and Celtic, I thought, have done really, really well. It's not even a full strength Celtic team, I would like to point out. No Alistair Johnson, no Cameron Carter-Vickers, of course. But what we have done, I think, in the main, is we've defended really well. I think that Schmeichel has made a couple of brilliant saves, almost stopped the goal that Man City scored. Of course, it was just a wicked spin that went over Scales' head. We gave away possession cheaply, if I'm going to have a dig. We gave away possession cheaply twice in 5 minutes. The first one was Scales, the second one was Welsh. It led to Man City equalising through Oscar Bob at that stage. But up to that point, I think we had defended really well. You were then kind of thinking, are Manchester City going to turn the screw at that stage? But no, the absolute opposite happened. Celtic came back out, and it was that man Kuhn again. Two brilliant finishes, dare I say. And I mentioned this on the bulletin for anyone who tuned in just the other day there, that Kuhn moves about that park a wee bit like Paddy Roberts, doesn't he? I'm not saying he's going to be as successful as Paddy Roberts, but on tonight's showing, we may well have the answer to the right wing problem that we've had. And you look at last season, listen, it's 45 minutes in a pre-season friendly, I get it. But you look at last season, that area was very difficult for Celtic to the point where we had to go and bring Jamesy Forrest back into the fray. Who had played out there? We'd seen Yang, we'd seen Palmer, Mikey Johnston had some games out there, Marco Tilio with a couple of cameos, Rocco Vata. We had issues on the right wing. And, really when you lose a player like Jota or Abada, we lost two guys who could play out there, they're difficult to replace. And Kuhn comes in the January. He was undoubtedly Brendan Rodgers. He's signing. He's given us a wee glimpse tonight, hasn't he? He's given us a wee glimpse to show us what we might be in store for next season. We know the trouble that he had when he first signed for the football club, and it was mainly the fact that there was a fitness issue, there was dental problems, and he had lost a fair bit of weight, so he wasn't as strong as he would like to have been when he signed for Celtic. We've seen some moments last season, but there came a point where Brendan Rodgers wanted to work with a core group to get us over the line, and that's exactly what he did. Now, let's not forget, when we brought in Nicholas Kuhn, he's a player, and I mentioned this at the beginning of the game, he's a player who has been with big clubs. He's been with RB Leipzig, he's been with Ajax, he's been with Bayern Munich. And when he was at a big club, he didn't seem to be able to perform and be able to fulfill the potential that he undoubtedly has had since breaking in to the Ajax side way back. He's a player who's 24 years of age. He's played for the German international side underaged levels from 15s to 20s. So he's always shown that there's something in there. And it's that type of player that Celtic have the opportunity to bring to the football club, because if he had obviously fulfilled any of that potential that he had in his younger years, he wouldn't be at Celtic. So we're able to bring him in and hopefully bring the best out of him. Listen, it's a great start, okay? I'm not writing off last season we won the double, but Kuhn took a long time, I think 6 months to settle. And we might just see the best of him now. I thought he had a fantastic first half. And I make no excuses for discussing it for most of the half-time break. Schmeichel has impressed Frank Kennedy, hasn't he? Just Kasper Schmeichel coming in to replace Joe Hart. Thanks everybody for tuning in, by the way, 700 strong on the live stream at half-time here. And Schmeichel, I think, he looked solid. He looked absolutely solid, even when Man City scored. I made the point, he saves the difficult shot, but it just bounces under the body. And, if it doesn't spin like that, scales will stop it. Kasper already looks like an upgrade, says Andy Logan. Well predicted, PJ, regarding Kuhn, says Brendan Monaghan. Well, here's what I think, Brendan. If I make enough predictions from throughout a season, then one or two of them might come true. This is class. Keep it going, Celts. Same team, some team. Anthony Aitken, great to hear from you. Patrick Harrell's enjoying it as well. Two fabulous finishes by Kuhn. Hopefully we see him coming out for the second half. It would be nice for him to continue that. Not only the two finishes, but he gets the assist for Kyogo's goal as well. And I think that his all-round plays, he looks really sharp. He's moving about that park, as I say, like a Paddy Roberts did. And Brendan Rodgers' first time in charge. Kuhn is looking sharp, says our commenter Tim Bardsley. Now, Leanne Campbell comes in to say, why didn't we play this expansive running game last season? This is night and day. It is, Leanne. How didn't we? Why didn't we? I think there's a few reasons for this. And I think one of the big reasons is, and this might be something that's a little bit less obvious, but you look at the midfield, Leanne, and you look at the guy who's been in great form for Celtic over the last 12 months, Matt O'Reilly. But beside him, Rio Hatate's had a very good first half. I mean, I think all the plaudits go to Kuhn, understandably. But Hatate has made a number of passes that have really opened up the play, and he does it so quickly. He's not ponderous on the ball. He gets it in the midfield and he just starts spraying balls down the wings through the eye of a needle, like we said at the beginning of the first stream tonight. And I think a Rio Hatate who's on form and fit makes a huge difference to the Celtic side. And we didn't really see it last season. I think he's one of the reasons. Another reason is the opposition we're up against are far more open than a lot of the teams that we play against in Scotland, who are very defensive, very hard to break down. But even if we did come up against a team like that on this type of form, I think we would blow them out the water. Marquee, all the Kuhn doubters. We have been superb, says Frank Kennedy. Keeping the comments coming through. I really do hope, actually, that we don't make that plethora of changes at half-time, because, we seem to have a rhythm. And if you bring in half a dozen, 7, 8 players, and I know pre-season primarily is to get the minutes in the legs. But at the same time, we're up against English champions here. Yes, it's not a full-strength team that they've got out, but wouldn't it be nice to put them to the sword? I certainly would enjoy that. Brisman says it looks sharp in attacking areas, bodes well. We have a keeper. Marquis, we had a keeper for the last 3 years. Come on. Joe Hart was a fantastic goalkeeper for Celtic. But yeah, I know what you mean. He's got the kind of, Schmeichel has the commanding aspect of a Foster. He's got that commanding aspect of a Foster. He's a shot stopper like, Gordon. He's got the Craig Gordon shot stopping ability. And some of the techniques, and this is understandable, some of the techniques are so much like his old fella. When he goes down and, the Boric, I think Boric learned a lot from the techniques of Peter Schmeichel as well. And it brings back to mind some of these great names from the past, Arthur Boric and Peter Schmeichel. Again, it's 45 minutes. It's a pre-season friendly, but we can only comment on what we're watching. Mark McMonigal, great to hear from you, Mark. Kuhn running riot, great debut from Schmeichel. Oh, yeah, absolutely. By the way, how positive is it in the comments tonight? I'm really delighted that I didn't think the match was on in 24 hours' time. Who would have made such a mistake? Not me. Wow, Kuhn, fantastic, says Martin Skulski. Loving the system, says Marquis. What do you think, Mark, is the difference? Leanne came in and said, why didn't we play this expansive football last season? My theory on it is not just Hatate, but when you play someone like Rio Hatate, the way that he crafts a chance, the way that he takes the risk, and this is why he loses the ball. He takes risks, but a lot of them, when they come off, will create a chance and they'll get people in behind the defence. And I think we've seen it tonight. We've seen Maeda getting in behind the Man City defenders. Kuhn has done the same. Kyogo's done the same. And often from the end of a ball played by Rio Hatate. Matt O'Reilly's done it as well. There was a ball O'Reilly played down deep down in the left for Maeda. Didn't look as though Maeda would get it, but he did because of his pace. O'Reilly had won the ball as well. He has been brilliant in the first half, Matt O'Reilly. Rio Hatate, Nicholas Kuhn. Kyogo's coming, he's coming inside. He's coming deep to collect the ball. He's getting on the end of chances. He's had a couple of chances tonight. Maeda's hit the post. We're looking absolutely brilliant. Ridiculizer. What are you saying tonight? Oh my God, I'm here to take the pelters. I've no comebacks. What am I watching? Well, I'll tell you something, sir. I'll tell you something. You are on the chat relentlessly. You don't always agree with other people within the comments, but you've came in to take this one right on the chin. And it's a 45-minute pre-season game, but we're enjoying it. And it's great to see you coming in and you're enjoying it as well. Listen, my Japanese isn't up to scratch. Tell me what your name is. Celtic looking great going forward, and the keeper looks an upgrade. Right, there's the question. Is Kasper Schmeichel an upgrade on Joe Hart? I think we said that he was. I think that the reason that we said that was with the ball at his feet. Now, if you think back to Joe Hart, obviously much documented that Pep Guardiola needed his goalkeeper to be comfortable with the ball at his feet, and it was one of the reasons why he was moved on from Manchester City. I think in the 2 seasons under Ange Postecoglou at Celtic, Joe Hart struggled with that, and throughout last season we said time and time again that Brendan Rodgers came in. There was one example of it in the Japanese tour where Hart had been messing about with the ball. He lost it, and we conceded a goal. We never seen it again. We did not see it again. It was removed from his game, and I think that he had his best season in a Celtic jersey last season. However, it's a modern game. Goalkeepers are expected to be skillful with the ball at their feet, and Schmeichel is very, very confident with the ball at his feet, and I think that that's massive. Here we go. Deck, in you come. Kuhn looking like a proper player with the weight loss seems to be doing wonders. He's very sharp, isn't he? Very sharp indeed. Stoned Outlaw 1888. Wow. This is the type of comments we're getting in at half time. Very positive. And that's why I said I would rather we didn't make the raft of changes that we often do. I know it's hot out there. I know that there's people on the bench that need more game time. I know that sometimes they have these gauges on them whereby the laptop will say you've got to take off X, Y, and Z. But wouldn't it be good to enjoy this for another 15 or 20 minutes? Soul Biscuits, let's not forget Kyogo. Yeah, his run was tremendous. The word is that Kyogo during the month of August will be changing agency, and the worry and the concern was that they might instantly try and find them a buyer so that they can obviously get some kickback out of their investment. No. Keep Kyogo. Bring in Ida. Let's strengthen it. Let's not weaken it. And here we go as well. P. McLaughlin, the difference it makes when a keeper can distribute promptly. It all comes down to the confidence with a goalkeeper who has a ball at his feet and who's confident to distribute it and get the ball back out. And it's less laboured, because we've seen that time and time again where it would go to one of the centre halves, it would go right across the back line, back and forward, horseshoe shape, end up back with Joe Hart. We've not seen that. Yes, we know PS3 Retro TV Man City reserves, but Kasper doing all right until the goal. Well, it's the reserves with a sprinkling of gold dust in there as well, isn't it? And here we've got as well Tony. I met Tony Davern, tell us where you are in the world, Tony, when you get an opportunity. You were over in Glasgow and you joined us at Don Max for one of our live events. It was an absolute pleasure to meet you. We had a wee chat up the stairs that night. Loving the overall attitude of Celtic tonight. Kuhn and Casper are next level. I absolutely agree with that. I love the positivity. That's been a very quick 15 minutes. Join us again at full time, because hopefully we will be discussing a pre-season friendly victory over the English champions. Thanks everybody for getting involved. Enjoy the second half and join us at full time for a Celtic State of Mind.